Cold Mountain, poems by Han-shan, numbers 71 to 80. Living in the mountains, mind ill at ease, all I do is grieve at the passing years. At great labour I gathered the herbs of long life, but has all my striving made me an immortal? Broad is my garden and wrapped now in clouds, but the woods are bright and the moon is full. What am I doing here? Why don't I go home? I am bound by the spell of the cinnamon trees. The Chinese cinnamon trees of Mount Tiantai are often mentioned in earlier literature. They were of great height, green all year round, and were venerated as symbols of immortal life. My house is at the foot of the green cliff, my garden a jumble of weeds I no longer bother to mow. New vines dangle in twisted strands over old rocks rising steep and high. Monkeys make off with the mountain fruits. The white heron crams his bill with fish from the pond, while I, with a book or two of the Immortals, read under the trees, mumble, mumble. The Taoist philosophers, so called because Taoism claimed to teach the art of becoming immortal. Someone criticized the master of Cold Mountain. Your poems make no sense at all. But from what I have read of the ancients, I said, they weren't ashamed to be poor and humble. He laughed at my words and answered, how can you talk such foolishness? Then go on, my friend, as you are today. Let money be your whole life for you. The greatest sages from ancient times have not shown us life immortal. What is born in time must die. All will be changed to dust and ashes. Bones pile up like Mount Vapula. Tears of parting would make us see, and all that's left are empty names. Who escapes the wheel of birth and death? Mount Vapula, a mountain in India. I wanted to go off to the eastern cliff. How many years now I've planned the trip. Yesterday I pulled myself up by the vines, but wind and fog forced me to stop halfway. The path was narrow and my clothes kept catching the moss so spongy I couldn't move my feet, so I stopped under this red cinnamon tree. I guess I'll lay my head on a cloud and sleep. Here are 4 or 5 young fools. Nothing they do is honest or true. They've scarcely scanned 10 volumes, yet their brushes are always ready with a caustic comment. They take up the rules for Confucian behaviour and pronounce it no better than a code for thieves. A species of pest like the silverfish that chews through the binding of other men's books. The poem is a satire on ignorant Buddhist priests who spend their time deriding other creeds. What a fine shop this is, and the wine they sell is the best around. Bright banners flying on high, pint or gallon, the measure is always fair. What's that? You complain your sales are poor, but then you will keep the place full of vicious dogs. No sooner has a fellow come in for a drink than they snap at his heels and drive him away. Wine banners advertising the shop. The parable of the dogs in the wine shop is very old in Chinese literature and originally referred to evil ministers who drive good men out of the government. Here I suspect it is an attack on the Buddhist clergy, though this is only a guess. How pleasant were our bodies in the days of chaos, needing neither to eat or piss. Who came along with this drill and bored us full of these 9 holes? Morning after morning we must dress and eat, year after year fret over taxes. 1,000 of us scrambling for a penny, we knock our heads together and yell for dear life. In ancient times, according to the philosopher Chuang Tzu, the emperors of the northern and southern seas went to visit the emperor of the centre, named Chaos. Having been generously entertained, they considered some way to repay their host's hospitality. Everyone has 7 holes in his body so that he can hear, see, breathe and eat, they remarked. But Chaos doesn't seem to have any. With this they began to bore holes in their host. Every day they bore another hole, and on the 7th day Chaos died. Han-shan adds the 2 holes in the lower part of the body to make a total of 9. On Cold Mountain lies a naked insect. Its body is white and its head is black. In its arm it carries a couple of books, one the way and the other the power. At home it doesn't bother with kettle or stove. On a journey it takes along no clothes. But always it carries the sword of true wisdom to cut down the thieves of senseless desire. The Taotaching, or Classic of the Way and its Power, by the Taoist philosopher Lazu. In Han-shan's time, the work was divided into 2 sections, as referred to in the poem. Man, living in the dust, is like a bug trapped in a bowl. All day he scrambles round and round, but never escapes from the bowl that holds him. The immortals are beyond his reach. His cravings have no end, while months and years flow by like a river until, in an instant, he has grown old.